1. Hey guys, how are we doing today? And welcome to another episode of the Weekly Domain. We had another amazing episode of Jujutsu Kaisen, episode 32. And today I've got new guests as always, the wonderful, TheFakeWeeb.
What's up, guys? What's up?
And the man, the myth, the legend himself, KaiyoBreeze.
Hey, what's good?
What is going on? So thank you guys both for being here. I appreciate
Thanks
you
for having
both.
us.
If you guys could both, one at a time, FakeWeeb first, then Kaiyo, tell me one major thing that you love about being a Jujutsu Kaisen YouTuber.
One major thing I love about being a Jujutsu Kaisen YouTuber, I'd say that I'm able to learn the series a lot more. Like before I did YouTube, I would just casually read manga, but when you make videos on this series, you just kind of learn more about it. Also because you love it. So yeah, that's probably my favorite thing. You're able to learn more knowledge on JJK. Also because you're friends. Like my friends read the manga, and sometimes they're really confused, and I'm able to help them with any questions they have. So yeah, just learning more about the series for me.
Do you find, really quick, it's so funny that you say that. Do you find that, you're the guy that everyone comes to for, anime and manga questions now? Because I feel like for me, in my everyday life, because a couple people that I work with know what I do, and a couple of the IRL friends that I have also know what I do. And I feel like whenever any single one of them has any question whatsoever, I immediately get a text, or it's I get a 10-minute long conversation of, yo, do you think Gojo can do this? Or, yo, do you think, how strong is this person? What do you, no, it's okay. You can spoil me. I don't care. Just tell me.
No, yeah, I get that, especially with season 2 right now, they say, oh, how strong is Gojo? How do you lose to Toji or whatnot, right? Or how can he fly? Just very interesting questions like that. I mean, questions that even I had when I, was first reading the manga. So it's definitely understandable, but it's also, it's, I guess, kind of, not annoying, but it can be, maybe too much sometimes when you're just that one only guy answering the questions. But yeah, no, I mean, it's cool.
You're just kind of dude, I don't want to talk about this all the time.
Yeah.
Kaiyo.
I guess for me, it's a very simple and boring answer, but sometimes the truth is boring, right? It's just fun, right? Because I never would have imagined that there'd even be 100 people who'd want to hear what I have to say about anime and manga. The fact that people want to listen, and me being someone who wants to talk a lot, it's just a great time. It's very fun, and being able to actually do it, I really appreciate everyone who watches and stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much my boring answer, I guess.
No, it's not boring at all. I completely 110% agree. I think it's one of the best just things in the world to be able to talk about what you love and just have people listen. I'm the exact same way. I think it's kind of crazy that we can sit here and just talk about anime and have people listen to us. So no, both of you guys are both awesome people, awesome creators as well. So please, their links are in the description. Go check them out. Go subscribe to them if you haven't already. TheFakeWeeb and KaiyoBreeze. If you guys want, there will be a Q&A at the end of the stream. So please feel free to donate. Donations get first priority when it comes to questions. You can ask me a question, ask TheFakeWeeb a question, or KaiyoBreeze, whatever you want to know. Everything is on the table. So guys, that being said, we're going to go ahead and get started. As more people filter in, we're going to get into the 8th episode, right, of season 2, if I'm not mistaken, which was literally titled The Shibuya Incident. And I just have to say, I know it really wasn't, we didn't get too much that happened this episode, but I want to dissect a little bit of what we got, and we can definitely fill in a whole show about that. So at the start of the episode, we get Gojo entering, hopping on people, and confronting the disaster curses. I don't know about you guys, but it was a little surreal to me, kind of seeing this front and center for the first time, animated. I know we've probably looked at the panels, edited those panels, and put those on videos so many times of Gojo and the disaster curses meeting. What were your feelings when you saw that for the first time? FakeWeeb.
Oh my god, shivers, chills. I mean, because one of the things I like about Shibuya is that it's an arc that takes place in a real life Japan location. So there's just something about seeing the crowd in their Halloween costumes, you know, seeing all of them in an underground metro station. I just love how, you know, that opening scene is very modern with its setting. For the anime, I totally felt that, Mappa really nailed the modern suspense. Just like you said, Noah, we're all YouTubers, so we've seen that panel a couple times, edited a couple times, when Gojo just goes down and looks at the entire crowds, the background drawings, everyone in their costumes. Fun fact, I think there was like a costume of Law from One Piece in there. There might be some, like, I don't know, Easter eggs or whatnot.
There was
Pretty
Android
cool.
18, I'm pretty sure it was in there.
Oh, shoot, really?
Yeah, as well.
What'd you say, Kyle?
Yeah.
I think her name's like Chuli. I think that's how I say her name. From like one of the Fire games.
Oh, okay. Tiberius was saying last week, on the last weekly domain, that he saw the Angel, and like Angel was basically just a reference to a character that we get in the future. Not to spoil too much, but there's definitely a lot of references. It seems like the Studio Mappa's having a lot of fun with this episode. Kyle, what were your feelings?
I thought it was nice as well to see everything be animated. For me personally, what I really like seeing was the Grasshopper actually animate in the area there. I don't know, because like at least with Shibuya, because I can see pictures of Shibuya in real life, it doesn't look too surreal, but actually seeing, say, the Grasshopper in color, like fully green, and the background around there, and the fight was extended a bit, I feel like that was, to me, that felt really surreal, actually seeing that happen.
Yeah, I made a tweet like a week or two ago just saying like seeing Shibuya in actual motion is definitely one of the weirdest things in the world. Like we've all as JJK creators like talked so much in depth about Shibuya, and like I said, just seeing things actually happen, like seeing Gojo and Choso, Hanami, and Jogo in that in the metro, like it's so weird to me because I was like, this seems a lot bigger. I feel like it's a lot more claustrophobic in the manga, but like it just shows like the difference between like what you imagine and what you actually see, which kind of will go into the whole controversy that happened this episode with the animation in regards to the Grasshopper specifically. I definitely want to talk about that because I know there's definitely a lot of opposing opinions, neither here nor there. But before we focus too much on that, another thing I wanted to focus on, because I did notice it, it looks like the beginning of like the massacre in the train station where Jogo, Hanami, and Choso start to kill all those people. It looks like it's been severely toned down. I don't know if any of you guys noticed that. Kaio?
Yeah, I think compared to, especially when Chogo was setting people on fire, I guess we didn't really we had some screams, but it wasn't too blood curdling. I imagine if we're gonna see anything too crazy, it might be next episode, but considering the fact that there was some decent censorship in this episode, we might not see it. Like even when Hanami was running through people like a train, you can't really see it clearly what's going on. And when Choso fires his piercing blood and it bounces off of Gojo, it doesn't hit people like it does in the manga. So I guess it makes sense, but yeah, there was some censorship.
That's one of the first things that I noticed, is that Choso's slicing exorcism it looked like it didn't really hit anybody. It looked like it was an attack specifically meant for Gojo, which I don't know if that's something that they're looking to potentially change, especially with something that we know happens later in the manga series. But like it's interesting that what do you think, FakeWeeb, about them toning down Choso's domestic terrorism?
No, you're right. I actually, to be honest, I didn't realize it until I'm looking at the panels right now. There's it was supposed to happen in this episode, I think chapter 84, where Choso fires his slicing exorcism, and it like it goes through a couple people's brains, and we didn't see that this episode. So I'm hoping in the next one, they're kind of like maybe preserving and saving all the violence and brutality for the big episode 9, because that would have been really cool to see. I mean, it was still good nonetheless, but yeah, I just realized that actually.
Do you think these are like red flags or warning signs that some of the heavier gore, not that Jujutsu Kaisen has, you know, crazy gore. I mean, there are some scenes that are relatively brutal, but there are specifically in the manga where Jogo, I think, instead of shoving his hand through the one dude when he's trying to help the girl, he like actually just takes his head off legitimately and then burns his head while it's in his hand. And they even changed that. So it seems like, at least when it comes to decapitations or, well, TheFakeWeeb, you even mentioned it, Choso's literally sending piercing blood or his blood attacks literally through people's heads to get to Gojo. So do you think these are warning signs that some of the more severe gore might be toned down?
Oh man, it's weird because I feel like this was the only episode that kind of had that, where else all the other episodes, you know, they didn't really care about like preserving like the violence. Maybe because like obviously we'll speak on it later, but even like when the Grasshopper, when Yuji encountered him, he was like eating the person's head, right? And we kind of saw like the decapitation or his head like bloodied off. So I don't know, maybe it is a warning sign. I'm just hoping that maybe this episode was like specific to not having much, I guess, animation, or not animation detail, but you know what I mean, right? Like we talked about it a bit before. Hopefully they're just saving that for the next episode. Yeah.
Kyle, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, on the Choso point, it's really tough to say because I can't spoil anything, right? But it is really interesting how maybe they're trying to change like a narrative on Choso, which I don't know how I feel about that. I don't think I'd like that, but maybe that's what they're trying to do, considering that they now know what Gege has planned.
Yeah, I did see someone mention in chat that the airing time is different from season 1, which is therefore the reason why there's a lot more dimming and ghosting, because there's more, I guess, younger people watching at that time frame, and also that would include the censorship. But that's a potential reason. But like TheFakeWeeb did mention, it's not like there's really any severe gore or anything in Jujutsu Kaisen that like we'd really be missing out on. I mean, like I said, even like even when people complain about Bleach and how Bleach had some moments censored a little bit, it's not like there really are severe moments beyond this point that could really lose impact.
Well, okay, there is one particular scene, I can't say what, but I actually talked to you guys about it before we streamed. You know, when someone makes some cubes, I really hope that isn't censored.
I guess you're right.
Yeah.
You know what? I feel like that's easier to get away with though than certain things. Rather than like a straight up like decapitation or putting, you know, arrows of blood through people's brains, you know what I mean? But that's just me. I also have different sensibilities than other people, so I wouldn't be a good judge of character.
No, that makes sense. I mean, because also considering, you know, Choso and then the other people who do horrific acts, right? I guess maybe, I don't know, maybe they really are just trying to treat certain characters differently, which again might affect some character arcs in the future, but we'll see. Maybe next episode Choso will fire like another piercing blood, like anime extra, and it just like decapitates 10 people.
Yeah, we won't know until the Blu-rays.
Yeah, yeah.
We won't know until the Blu-rays. But yeah, I did have it noted here on my doc that do we think they're changing the narrative on Choso at the very least, to have him at least have a little bit less casualties. But do you think, if that's the case, do you think that does what's the words I'm looking for? That does dull his character development later without spoiling too much? TheFakeWeeb?
No, I wouldn't say so. I mean, unless they like censor it completely, like he doesn't kill anyone at all, right? Like I feel like the next episode, you gotta show him, you know, getting the piercing blood or sexism, reaching some people, and he's killing people with his blood manipulation. If he doesn't kill people at all, then yeah, I feel like it would kind of dull like his character, especially in the very future arcs, because of like what he says of, you know, like I've killed people before, I'm a curse womb, but yada yada yada. So it like if they're censoring it like how Jogo just he put his hand through the woman's body, burned her up, and it's different from her decapitating from or him decapitating from her head. I think that's fine. That's like a fine type of censorship, and it wouldn't dull Choso's character. But in the sense that if he didn't kill anybody at all, then yeah.
I also feel like, think about this, the fact that they're not letting Choso kill people, it's like they're saying if he does, he's too irredeemable. Isn't that kind of like disrespectful to the current Choso in the manga? Right? Well, I can't say much about that, but like it's like basically the animation studio is saying like this guy can't be redeemed if he kills people, which is, you know, you could argue is a case, but like at least let the viewers decide, not just remove it entirely.
Yeah, I
No,
guess
you're right,
I
because,
guess it ultimately comes down to what they end up doing next episode.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I was just gonna say, like, I think that, like, that's the whole reason why he feels guilt, right? So it would be disrespectful if no killing happens, but we'll have to wait till next episode.
Yeah. It's pretty funny how like, oh, please, Choso, please kill people. It makes sense in context, I promise. It makes sense.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
But other than that, moving on from the quick introduction we get of Gojo and the disaster curses, because obviously we're gonna get all of that condensed into one episode next week. It was a pretty heavy dialogue episode. I was gonna say chapter for a moment. Pretty heavy dialogue episode. They are informing us a lot about the different veils and the ins and outs of Shibuya. And it's honestly, even I remember reading it, the veils and all the different, how there's a veil inside of a veil, and then isn't there a third or there's a fourth veil? Like, do you think they're doing a good job explaining it is what I'm trying to get at, Kaiyo?
I think actually they're doing a really, really good job. Where in the manga, it was a bunch of text that I know. I know these people. A lot of people on Twitter, Reddit, or wherever people talk about JJK, they skip this stuff. And personally, I know people in real life, they just like, oh, wall of text, they just skip it. But the anime, like, not only are they condensing it easier, but especially like when they explain domain amplification, they actually explained it far better than the manga did. At least in terms of like one-to-one translation from Japanese. Because, you know, if you guys know Lightning on Twitter, which, you know, whole situation there, right? But they had actually explained in the past how domain amplification works in a way that, like, not even Viz or TCB explained it. It was a really, like, well-explained way. This anime episode actually gave that explanation. I feel like if someone, let's say, if someone's just casually watching, it'd be really easy to just watch, pick up, understand, and be like, oh, that's how domain amplification works. Like, maybe not too in depth, but at least easier to digest, I think.
I completely agree. I think they did an amazing job explaining domain amplification, because I definitely was one of the people that was confused about domain amplification. Not so much how it... I mean, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, like you said, it's a wall of text, and you read it over again, and you read it a third time. Kind of like a certain person's ability that we'll be getting in this season actually too, that I'm sure I hope they do a better job of explaining, which I feel like having that in motion and actually being able to animate that curse technique will help a lot of people understand it. Kind of like Diavolo from JoJo's Part 5, how the anime helped explain the person's technique so much more than the manga ever could. I feel like if you are watching that for the first time, you're going to immediately understand domain amplification. Boom. Instead of just being like, well, I don't understand this, but I guess it just works.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think, go ahead.
No, you go.
No, I was just going to say, for me, I think one thing that I really liked in terms of explaining heavy dialogue was when they explained the situation in the basement with all the civilians. Because I'm not going to lie, the first time I read that in the manga, I mean, my name's TheFakeWeeb. I think I read this like 3 years ago. I wasn't so much into manga back then. So when I read all like these information, I kind of skip read it. Like I read it in my mind, but I don't really pay attention. But in the anime, they like, okay, they had like green highlights and red highlights. Why the humans are in the lower station, why the curses are in the top, because they're chasing down the humans. They just had like, I guess, not legends, what's it called? Like different indicators to like specify where and who's and what. So I really like that because yeah, I didn't catch on to it the first time I read the manga.
No, I totally feel you as well because it's one of those things where if I had a friend reading JJK, I would actually recommend them. I would just send them a clip of domain amplification. I might even do that in the future, where if someone's like, "Oh, how does it work again?" I just send them the clip of them explaining in Shibuya, because it's explained better in this like 10 seconds in Shibuya than it ever is in the manga. And I feel like that's something that the anime has picked up. The anime studios always pick this up, where the actual like mangaka, right, the authors, this is the case for every author that's ever existed. I feel like they put in, and rightfully so, they put in a lot of detail because they understand it best. And obviously people like us, and I'll say a lot of the diehard fans, right, so people who like read it a lot and try to understand it, they'll understand it, but they don't write it in a way that casual readers would be able to understand it. Whereas I guess the anime studio is really prioritizing just a lot of casual viewers. You know, they worded it in a pretty simple way, and sometimes that can help. That can actually really help.
100%. Yeah, and I even like the way they even animated the domain amplification, where they showed them getting slowly closer and closer and closer to Limitless, which I imagine is something that we will even begin to see as it's used later on in the series, because we actually just saw a lot of it recently, without spoiling too much. One thing I wanted to touch on before we move into Yuji versus the Grasshopper, the fight and the controversy that came with it. An interesting note that we did get, of course, Yuji, the team of Yuji and Mei, and actually I just recently learned it's supposed to be pronounced Wee, I'm pretty sure.
Really?
So Wee-Wee's introduction, which just makes things so much better, I must say. It was also noted, I don't know if this was different from the Viz translation or the manga, because it's been a while since I read this specific chapter. Actually, no, it hasn't, but either way, it seems like Wee said that you like Mei, you're a liar, you like having work relationship, you don't like family relationships, you like treating work relationships like family relationships. And it's also kind of subtle, but you can see that their hair color is a little bit different shades. Are we getting kind of comfort? Go ahead.
No, Miyamura did say that they're biological.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
And where did he get that confirmation from? Where's the source?
I have no idea, but the way he said it, it sounded like he got it from a like fact sheet or information sheet from the animation studio, but I'm just assuming. But he did say it like it was fact, which is pretty yeah.
I was just curious what you thought about that, because I thought that was a very interesting way to phrase that, and I don't think they phrased it that I don't think it was phrased that way in the manga either. So I was like, oh, is this another thing they're kind of putting a bit more clarification on? Like, I was just curious if you guys noticed that or thought about it. TheFakeWeeb, did you see that?
Yeah, I noticed that too. I think, I mean, maybe it's like stated in the fan book that they are biologically siblings or not, but that would be interesting, because let's say if they weren't, right? Like that, hey, that could help explain some things that happen in the future. But no, I think
then.
Or
yeah,
it's just even worse, actually. Stealing kids from their families.
Oh shoot, that is even worse. Okay, no, but
what is worse? Can we really say? Let's not put these on a scale here.
Right.
He was like so funny though. Like I think he has the same voice actor who plays Boruto, and I did not expect Ui to be so comedic as he was in the episode. Like I knew he had some quirks with Mei, but I guess would you see that animated, like along with the voice acting, just saying it out loud? Yeah, it's much more comedic in comparison to the manga. And now, weirdly enough, I kind of want more. Like I want more funny scenes with. I was gonna say Wee.
The scene of Yuji, like when he's just like, when they animated his face literally perfectly when he's just like staring at them, like what is going on? Like, can we please move on?
I'm telling you though, because like he looks so much like Gojo as a kid. Maybe not exactly, but I swear to God, because there's that theory where Mei and Uyi are part of like, so because we don't even know in the manga about it. This is like just complete theory. Like, they might be members of the Gojo clan, right? I mean, considering their hairstyles and even like how Uyi looks, I feel like seeing him in the anime and actually seeing him in that has like the hair color and all that. I think it might be possible. I really think it might be possible. Like they're just outcasts from the Gojo clan, but obviously we don't know.
I know that's been theorized since like the very beginning because, excuse me, of the white hair and everything like that. I feel like if that was the case, we would have gotten a little bit more. I feel like we would have gotten confirmation by now. If not from Gojo outright directly, I feel like Gege would have like either outright said it in like an interview or like something, or he would have been like, oh, he would have like hinted at it. But I don't know if TheFakeWeeb, if you have any different opinions.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think it's a possible theory for sure, but I do think there would have been something said from Gojo.
She has no last name.
Mm-hmm.
She could be like excommunicated. You know, I see where you're coming from.
And she does say something in the manga which I can't say, but she notices something and realizes what something is, which is something like only someone in the Big Three would know. Maybe, and like she does have a sort of, I don't know, I don't even want to say class, or she really does. That it's something like we've only seen throughout other members
you can say
of high-ranking
class. She literally had
clans.
Ui lay down a fucking little napkin for her to sit down on the.
That was so funny.
Yeah, so maybe, who knows?
Yeah, because I think it was actually confirmed. It's something that I learned. I don't know if it was common knowledge. She's really not even faculty, technically, of Jujutsu High. Like, she basically is just like a mercenary and like is for hire. And Jujutsu High just pays her the most to stay on their side, and give her missions. She's literally not even like she's completely separate from them. Actually, I'm pretty sure.
Wait, can you imagine if Kenjaku like paid her a ton of money to help her, like to have her on their curse's side? Would she do it?
I think so, not to spoil anything, but I think just from what we've seen of her character, especially in the last couple chapters, again without spoiling anything, I think just based off the way she kind of reacts, I feel like she has a really big leader moment. I can't spoil anything. I'll send the panel to you.
I feel you though. Yeah.
But I feel like her allegiance at the end of the day is like, yeah, it's money, blah blah blah, but like if it's do or die, like if she really needs to pick a side, like money or not, she's gonna side with Jujutsu High, is kind of what I'm saying.
I mean, remember in season 1, she was literally set up Yuji to die just for the bag. So, I mean, and she's pretty much grooming this child. So, I guess maybe she's like not as far as to just betray humanity. I guess she has a moral line, but
hey, I was the biggest Mei is, playing both sides character. Look, like I said, we're getting a little bit too much into future stuff, but like, yeah, I mean, yeah, she's definitely not without flaw.
there's a line. There is a line somewhere. Like, it is far out. It's hard to see, but it exists. Oh, I see.
So that being said, yeah, I just thought that was a very interesting moment. I wanted to touch on that a little bit and get your guys' thought. TheFakeWeeb, did you have anything to mention before we moved on to Grasshopper?
Not about Mei, no, not really. I guess I want to point out just one more thing with Ui. Like, I don't know, I really found him funny. Like when he said, like he told you to be quiet because Mei needs concentration of her bird watching, and Mei was like, no, it's actually fine. And then the way we responded was like, oh, my goodness, sister. Like, I don't know, it's just like very quick comedy like that. I really enjoy with him.
He's like,
don't I didn't even know I
undercut
joined
me.
the manga. Yeah, exactly.
It's so funny. Yeah, no, I won't lie. I'm a Mei fan. I love Mei. I think she's a cool character.
She's hot.
I don't support what she does, but I think she's a cool character. I had someone coming at me for liking Giselle and Bleach a while ago too, but like I'm like, look, I don't support what they do. I just think they're a cool character. I think they fit their role very well. But that being said, we can move on to the main event of at least this episode, which is Yuji versus the Grasshopper Curse. Now, as far as it goes, manga-wise, before seeing this fight anime, do you guys remember what your opinion of this fight was moving into it? Kaiyo.
I thought it was a cute little fight to set up Shibuya. You know, it was nice. It was pretty funny. I remember reading in the manga, and it was very quick, to say the least. And I think what I took away the most that I liked from this fight was A, the Grasshopper's, he's funny, and B, it's the fact that Yuji is like solidly grade 1. I feel like that was the biggest takeaway. The fight was never that even important or special in the manga. It's definitely, at least, maybe I shouldn't say it, but I don't know. It's probably the least important fight in the entire season, even including hidden inventory.
Well, it's a good start off point. Exactly. Like I said, it's a very inconsequential fight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. Like, it was just quick, funny, good start off to Shibuya. I mean, I found it funny, especially when I first read in the manga, because I liked the Grasshopper's quirk of, you know, I'm smart. Oh, Yuji, are you really smart? Like, I don't know. I thought that was really, really funny. I agree with Kaiyo. Like, it's probably the weakest fight in this entire series, but that doesn't mean it's like a bad fight. It's just fun and enjoying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was thinking about it a little earlier, which was it's such a great way to show and bring back just Yuji's development. We spent like a whole arc, even in the manga I was thinking about, we spent a whole arc away from the main cast. We spent a whole arc where basically Gojo was the main character. It basically makes sense, and I think the anime even did it a little bit better, where, all right, Shibuya incident, we're back to the main cast, here we go. Gojo's about to fight the disaster curses, but wait, this isn't a story about Gojo. This is a story as Yuji Tadori is the main character, and he gets first reigns, and he gets first blood. I'm completely okay with that. Even if it's a small little quick fight, I think it shows how far Yuji's come. Even Mei mentions it as they're kind of running away after the fight, where she's like, I kind of expected you to struggle more with that. You're basically already a grade 1 if you can exercise a curse like that.
Yeah, no, I like that comment too. I'm pretty sure, like, I don't know if it was mentioned in the anime. Actually, this was not even mentioned in the manga. I think it was like an extra volume or a fan book. But the Grasshopper curse is semi-grade 2, or no, it's grade 2. Could have been semi-grade 1. With like a caveat of it doesn't have a curse technique. So the fact that Yuji was able to defeat it just solidifies himself as a grade 1 sorcerer.
Yeah, I feel like, man, I guess I can't say too much about what's coming up, but it's nice to see, you know, Yuji do really well, you know, get that W. It's great to see. It's always great to see.
Yeah, I think the two hands versus 4 hands bit, regardless of what people say, I think we can get into it of the animation controversy here. I'm not entirely sure how else they expected people to animate that, but I know everyone has different opinions. I thought the episode was good. I thought the way they did the fight was good. I thought the first time I watched it, I was like, oh, this is a little weird. But after a couple of rewatches, I'm like, I like it. I like the way that they did this. And I watched a couple of reaction channels, and it seems like even on their first watch, it seemed like they kind of thought it was decent and good. So I'm not sure if my view of the manga has tainted my experience. I can't speak for that. But I'll let TheFakeWeeb, I'll let you give your opinion, and then Kaiyo, feel free.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I sort of see what you mean, Noop, how, like, I think, at least from what I saw, people said that it lacked unique choreography, or the storyboards were like really weak. But like you said, I think it just comes from me and you being like a manga reader, in that at least I thought the anime did what I expected this sequence to look like in my head. Again, at least in my opinion, like, I don't think the fist fight needed to be choreographed in any special way. Just like the manga, it's a constant back and forth. Sure, you could probably argue that maybe they could have been somewhat more creative, but you know, it's not going to look like how, remember when Geto was throwing hands against that curse user in episode 2, or, you know, how fancy Gojo was just beating up Miguel in the movie, right? Because in this situation, it's a fist fight between someone with 4 arms against another person with 2 arms, right? It's not one person just totally beating up the other. They're both going at it, matching every punch and fist they throw. So, naturally, it's going to be hard to elevate a scene like that from the source material, because I feel like it's almost meant to be raw and messy with just both characters throwing hands and, staying in the same place. But again, like, that's just my opinion. I know a lot of people disagree, and that's totally fine. If anything, they did actually give us an extended extra scene with Yuji dodging the Grasshopper curse in that narrow, area, or it's still in the underground station, but it was, pretty narrow. Pretty cool, I thought, but yeah, that's just my thoughts.
Cool. So after all that being said, I completely agree with you. Well, what I want to get that out of the way. But Kaiyo, what was your opinion?
Okay. Well, I feel like this is an issue for the episode overall. It's just insanely, I guess, visible, prevalent when you're actually watching them fight. So I'll talk about the ghosting and dimming as a separate issue, and then I'll just talk about the episode itself. If you pause this episode at any point, or if you just take screenshots, the art is always on point. Every single picture could be a wallpaper background, right? It's really great. The issue is the animation, it's really, really stiff. Especially, let's say, when Yuji's just talking to Mei, or when they're just running, because they're reusing animations, or the movement between each frame. It's not the greatest in the world. I don't even think it's okay. Using the rest of season 2 as a baseline, especially hidden inventory, it's below average, right? Which is fine for these scenes. It really is fine, right? But it's really, I guess, obvious when you're watching him fight the Grasshopper, where there is no animation. I think when the Grasshopper kicks through the wall, I may be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure they reuse the animation twice. And then even when they're throwing hands, initially it looks good. It's just the fact that it's not creative at all. It's just the whole point of an adaptation, right? Especially with, say, hidden inventory, is when we saw Gojo fight Toji, it was basically took what the manga did and it created an entirely new vision and it brought it to life. It really did. It felt like it was actually happening. It just felt so fluid and smooth. Compared to this just seems like they saw the manga, all right, let's just put it in here, and that's all. I think even TheFakeWeeb, you kind of said they didn't do anything too creative with it, which you didn't have an issue with, and I think, which is fine, but I guess it's just compared to the rest of season 2's fights, mainly the hidden inventory, using that as a standard, I think this episode was below par. If compared to an average anime episode, it's pretty average. I would even say pretty good. But even compared to, let's say, some insanely minor fights, like the maid fighting the paper bag guy had better smooth animation than this, or like you said, Toji punching up the assassin, that was smooth, or even just the general animation. What I will say though is, if any episode in all of Shibuya were to have stiffer animation or not as great, let's just say, and again, not any fault to the animator, I think what's going on is that they're actually just pouring all their resources and time into what's coming next. So I think this was not a sacrificial episode, but kind of the episode they're putting the least amount of time into, and they're going to focus a lot on the rest of the season. So hopefully, it can't spoil anything, but the rest of the fights in Shibuya are going to look akin to what we saw in hidden inventory. But yeah, and the ghosting and dimming though, that just made it so much worse, the ghosting and dimming. I can't really blame the anime at all for that. That was Toei's fault and Crunchyroll's fault, but yeah.
TheFakeWeeb, do you have anything to say?
I do kind of agree in the sense, I do think this episode, I don't know what's the right term to say. It was more of an emergency type episode. Hey, just dump whatever talent of animators we have, because this is kind of an emergency, and then we can heavily focus on what's next to come. Because that's what it kind of felt like. Kaiyo, I did notice, actually, you pointed out when they were running, they were overused or they were reusing the backgrounds, so I can definitely feel that. But like, yeah, the fight itself, I enjoyed it, but I can definitely understand why people had like issues with it.
Yeah, no, it definitely was a low priority episode. I'll completely agree with that. There's no doubt about it. I mean, we were kind of talking about it before we got onto stream, was that if there was any kind of fight that gets lowballed or doesn't really get the full priority of Mappa Studio, it would be this one, right? I mean, there's nothing but great fights ahead. And this one really is just an introduction to the story. And like I said, it's kind of a return to form of giving Yuji Todori, the main character, kind of a W to set things off in the right place. I think next episode, especially without spoiling anything, is going to be a very important episode. And I don't know about any of you guys if you noticed how interesting it is of just the timing of how everything played out with the manga chapters going on. So I definitely feel like next week is going to be an interesting Jujutsu Kaisen week on both sides, but it definitely seems like you said, they'll be putting a lot of effort into future fights. And this one was just, hey, we've got to get this one out. We've got to push through this one. And then we can put full steam ahead on everything else. Which, when knowing that they only have 18 episodes to kind of do all of the Shibuya incident, it doesn't surprise me too much that they had to cut corners in certain areas. I, for one, do think that there was a decent amount of creativity put behind the animation. That may not have just came to form in the animation itself because of either low priority or they were rushed and they weren't able to do it as well as they wanted to. But there was a tweet, I don't know if any of you guys saw it, of one of the animators that worked on this part who basically did, he did do like a whole like punch combo like in real life and record that and use that as the basis. So there was definitely love and care put into the animation. Whether or not there was as much time to put in as much as it needed, that is of course debatable. I'm cool with the aura barrage. I think no matter what you do, most fucking punching barrages are probably gonna look like shit. Whereas like, I think if anything, they made it look cool. They made it be funny, where they added the fucking the machine gun sounds for Yuji's fucking flurry of punches as he's just fucking beating the shit out of fucking the ground. I thought that was funny. That got a chuckle out of me. That made me smile. You know what I mean? And if that's all I really care about. And like we kind of talked about, for a low priority fight like this, just an introduction to everything. As long as this isn't a trend that we continue to see, I'm okay with it.
Exactly. Yeah, I feel like I saw the tweet as well, where the guy did the boxing thing, and he kind of used it as a reference when he drew the storyboards. He had clearly, a lot of love was put into this and effort, but there definitely was a time constraint of resources, and I gotta just imagine the rest of it's gonna look great, because there were some parts like when Yuji dodges the, I don't know, poisonous spit, I don't know what it's called, when he punches the grasshopper too, like it did look really good in some parts as well. But as long as it's just this episode, and at least not for, like, say, I can't say fights names, but like some really insane Goid fights are coming up, like too many to even name. As long as those are all done really beautifully, at least on the level of Toji versus Gojo, I have no qualms. It's just the grasshopper, it's an introduction. It is what it is.
I will say, like, because personally for me, I don't really mind like a barrage of punches. Like, to me, I think that's just cool. But what really just like nerfed this episode, and I mean, it's obviously this is like the hot topic right now, right? Was the ghosting, because like, let's be honest, ghosting is gonna be there for the rest of the Shibuya episodes, unless like Crunchyroll releases like unghosted versions, because at least from what I've heard, they've done that in the past. But like, okay, while I personally think it was pretty egregious in this episode, specifically when they're doing the fist fight, it definitely isn't something that like ruins the overall experience for Shibuya. Still though, it just sucks knowing the fact that, hey, ghosting will deter some of the animation quality in the future. Like, we'll never see the original version of fights until the Blu-ray comes out. And I think like the concern that people have most of them, at least I saw on Twitter, is understandable because it seems like the ghosting is only applied whenever it's a fast-paced action scene. So remember, like in the last episode, it was like Mahito was just changing into different forms, running around the forest, avoiding Mekamaru's beams or his pigeon viola. I mean, it was still sick and cool, even with the ghosting, but man, I just can't imagine what it would look like without it, right? And to be honest, my favorite thing about anime fights, how do I put this into words? It's like when the action, the drawings, the camera, it's when all of it goes super fast and fluid. Like, I think I've said this countless times. My favorite scene in season 1, action-wise, is when Yuji and Toto were like climbing and running around Hanami's branches in episode 19. So, yeah, like if you don't think ghosting is much of a problem, that's fine. That's your opinion. But I think for the people who do think it's a problem, that doesn't mean they're being overly negative, because that's what I saw like a lot on Twitter. I think, of course, saying it'll ruin Shibuya, hey, that's kind of over the top, and I think there's a huge caveat applied in saying that. Because if they do think Shibuya will suck because of the ghosting, well, hey, that's their opinion and it's wrong. But for those who think it's a problem and don't think it will ruin Shibuya, then yeah, they're just fans who would have loved to see what the full potential of fights would look like.
Yeah, I think that's a nice way of putting it. Because ruin it's such a strong word, right? Because like ruin means it's all garbage, like it's 0 out of 10. It's a very, very powerful word. I would just say, just like you said, it's just sad, right? It would definitely decrease the overall rating. It would hurt the quality of watching. Obviously, it's not ruined. It's not like we're getting 7 at least in season 3 or something insane, right? Definitely not ruined. But I will say, because there are some really, really fast-paced fights and hand-to-hand scenes, especially with certain characters, right? Like 2 in particular. I can't say their names, but they are insanely fast. And I'm thinking of just so many scenes where if they're ghosted, it would, because I guess it is different for everyone how they view it. Because when I saw the Grasshopper fight, like, because even watching about the ghosting, it's alright. But like the ghosting, it is pretty much making it unwatchable. I think this is just different from person to person. Well, because I have it right in front of me right now, and I keep rewatching it. It's just like too hard to even see what's going on when the ghosting and dimming happens. It's like I just can't see anything. Like I just can't see what's going on.
So hot take. I'm sorry, hot take. I don't even notice it.
What?
I didn't even know what ghosting and dimming was until I saw everyone complaining about it on Twitter. Like I watched Mahito vs Mekamaru and I didn't even notice it at all.
I feel like for that one in particular, it was a lot less noticeable because the episode is already really dimmed by default. It was already a pretty dark looking episode. Okay, let's say the Grasshopper one. I wish I could like show this, but like when they're fist fighting, or like doing the Aurora Barrage, like, I can just clearly see what's going on. It's in such like crisp quality.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's like, yeah, okay, so they're punching, but then literally the ghosting and dimming begins. At least for me, it's just like blurry. I paused at one frame. I can't see anything. I don't know what I'm looking at. I guess it really is just different from person to person. But
I'll just say like
not all of the punching scenes, by the way. Just like when Yuji was landing the punches at the end, and at the midway point, there were 2 like times in particular it looked horrible, but a decent amount of the punching barrage looked normal though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it's a tough subject. I think, like I remember the first time I watched it, like I kind of noticed it, but I wasn't really too like aware because I think while the ghosting was happening, like there was also like subtitles in the background. So I was like kind of like reading the subtitles. It's only when I saw like on Twitter, like without the subtitles, people have like the raw version, and like they really pointed out, I was like, oh yeah, okay, now I see it. And I still saw it before when I first watched it on Crunchyroll, but yeah,
okay.
It's
sorry.
No, that was basically my end.
Okay, all I'll say is play it from 1336, right? Just play it from that point on, and just for 10 seconds. because especially from 1338 compared to 1343, like the 5 seconds of 1338 to 43 and 5 seconds after, it's, at least for me, it's like it's night and day. Like, because I can't even understand what I'm seeing from 1338 to 43, but then from 43, or I guess 42, it's like it's so clear. It's like so easy to see what's going on. It actually looks pretty good. This really just has to be something, I guess, different for like different people's eyes, I guess.
Yeah, it has to be, because I literally saw a tweet literally probably an hour or two ago of someone when Hanami was rushing through all of those people. And in the trailer, apparently it wasn't ghosted, but in the episode it was ghosted. And they put it side by side, and I swear to God, this isn't me being an asshole. I literally could not tell the difference between this
I saw that too. It looks so different. This has to be nice. Okay, it's like that dress. You know how it's white and gold, by the way. It's that dress.
Oh, absolutely. See, that's the nope. See, that's how I know that you're just wrong, because it's blue and black. Oh my God!
White and gold. I will die on that.
This is exactly what it is. That
if you see it as white and gold, you'll probably see it as ghosting, I guess.
Yep.
There we go.
I mean, like, it looked a little foggier, maybe a little bit, but like honestly, like I couldn't even tell you that. I had to look at either side and like really try to tell you what was supposed to be the quote unquote better better imagery.
Now, even in the like live chat here, it is pretty split. Like some people are saying like they can't see it, and some people are like it's saying it's really bad. It's just so split. It just has to be some people just either you see it or you don't.
Yeah. You said, the dress makes perfect sense. I'm willing to full on believe that science.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a perfect analogy. I'm just glad, like, you know, Choso's blood manipulation isn't like ghosted. Like some things that I thought were, you know, had concerns are pretty clear and off the hook.
If a certain curse technique gets ghosted, oh my lord, it won't. There's no way they'll do it.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see for sure. So moving on from Yuji versus the Grasshopper curse, we do go back to Gojo versus the disaster curses for a brief moment, just for more setup for next week's episode. And one thing I did think was interesting is they make Kenjaku's plan, or Geto's plan, I'm sorry. Oof. They make Geto's plan.
Kenjaku, who's that?
Oh, just another Japanese name. It's his last name, or it's his middle name. But Geto is just so formulaic, and I feel like I noticed a lot of people basically seeing the mastermind behind him, how he just plotted everything so perfectly, with the non-sorcerers crowding the area, with the disaster curses being able to use domain amplification to nullify the very last thing that Gojo has at his disposal, which is the neutral application, because he can't use the red, he can't use the blue. And Kenjaku's just plotting this God damn it. Geto's plotting this evil plan at a fucking playground while all the disaster curses are playing with children. This is the most insane thing to me in the world.
That was a great ad, I can't lie. I feel like what made me burst out laughing, I really don't think this was said ever in the manga. At least not on the Viz. He says chances are 99% that he won't use his domain. I'm like, this guy. He must have been trolling with that one.
Yeah, he literally knew.
I guess it really highlighted and reminded me like how smart, tactical, and like how much he takes his plans into consideration. Just like Kaiyo said, like, oh, Gojo's not gonna pop his domain, but also you guys can't pop your domain, because if you do, then Gojo will pop his domain, and if he does, he's gonna win the domain fight. Like, it was just like, it was super like in depth, and I really like when JJK has that sort of explanation and can like intricacies with their explanations for stuff. So yeah, no, perfect.
Yeah, and there was even an extra
did
line.
I say the villain name again?
No, you didn't actually.
I don't.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
There was like an extra line where Geto actually says that Gojo enhances his like speed by blue, which everyone already assumed that, because we know he enhances, well, like, you know, certain other things with blue, right? I can't say what, but I think this is like the first time, even in the manga, that it was specifically said, at least for the speed part, like his own speed, not other people's speed, if that makes sense. Not to spoil anything.
I think it might have been mentioned. I might be wrong though. I think that,
but-
that phrase of him not being able to use the speed because it's like a dump truck and it'll literally just run through people. I'm pretty sure.
I must have just forgotten.
It
But,
sounded
hey,
familiar, but I might be wrong too. I might also be a fever dream for me. I have those sometimes.
Nah, I must have just forgotten. But it was like, again, seeing him explain all this, because I got it here right now. In the playground, while they're playing with children, I'm like, oh god.
Like, I understand they can't see Mahito, Dagon, and Jogo. Probably some of them can, some of them can't. But, like, no one's questioning this random dude just sitting there blowing bubbles on the playground while with all these kids around.
It probably looks crazy because if they can't see Jogo, he's just talking.
He's just talking to himself, yeah.
Get this guy away from children.
He's
they probably,
blowing
they probably
bubbles.
think he's like homeless, like, yeah, I don't know.
Monk? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, this poor monk, like, with stitches all over his head. That's like, honey, get back in the car. We're going home. Absolutely not. It's like the diner scene all over again, where there's just that one guy, or he just feels like he goes, nope, this isn't, nope, absolutely not.
Yeah.
This is, I get a bad vibe.
I'm kind of surprised there was no reaction though to Gojo flying. I guess there wasn't in the manga either, but I was kind of hoping there would have been some scenes when he starts flying, and he's floating really just like Jujutsu Jesus, right? Quaco says that a lot. Like, you know, people saying, you know, damn, like right in the middle of Shibuya station, he's just flying.
This is
Surprised,
hopping on people's faces.
Yeah, no one said anything, he just floats down.
Oh yeah,
I
I
would
never
have
acknowledged
reaction.
that.
I saw people saying he was graceful, which he is. He's just got that. He's got that riz.
Was that park scene in the manga?
It was, but I don't think. I think the setting was changed. I'd have to go back and look. I
'Cause
think
I was
they're
gonna
having
say,
like a picnic or something when they're first talking about it. They're like playing mahjong or some shit.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
I gotta go back and check.
And then it creates that beautiful panel where his text bubble is the bubble that he's blowing. That was really iconic.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. No. So I think those are two different conversations then.
Mm-hmm. I don't know about the playground either. Like, at least what I know for sure is they didn't show any playground or the Zastakas is playing with children.
Yeah. No, that was definitely a new added-on addition, and I love that. Fucking Gege is just what crowd of villains in other series are just like you have iconic shots of that of.
Yeah, like
yeah,
that
first
one
season one was
scene-
at the beach.
Yes, I was about to say when they're dancing.
Yeah, no, they're just in like the park, and like Dagon, Hanami, and Mahito are dancing to around like the bubbles that Geto's blowing, but like they're not in like a park with kids.
Yeah, I think it was like Dagon or Dagon's innate domain, which is always weird. So you can just create, I guess, which you've seen before. Like even low special grades can do it. Surprised we just haven't seen it done more. Like could I can't say any names, but like could some of the main cast, if they ever learn domain expansion, like could they
Be
just create, like, an
interesting.
innate domain room?
You can just like cast. Yeah, exactly. Like you have your own room or whatever. That's pretty cool. It's an interesting idea. So moving forward really quickly, the last thing that I want to focus on in the episode before we get to Q&A and just start answering some of your guys' questions, would be how do you guys overall feel about the chapter switching, where instead of having it done how it was in the manga, where we get a significant portion of Gojo versus Disaster Curses cut halfway through to Yuji versus Grasshopper and then finish Gojo versus Disaster Curses. Now it's almost like we kind of just give Gojo versus Disaster Curses its full, unadulterated, and undivided attention. What are your guys' thoughts about that? Do you guys like that they did that? Would you guys prefer a more complete, full adaptation with no changes? TheFakeWeeb?
Yeah, I mean, like, without getting into spoilers, as a manga reader, I'm really glad that they did this because, well, like, yeah, like they had to make Gojo and his fight with the disaster curses, and whatever happens next, like into one episode because it would just flow a lot better, right? Whereas if they did it with the original source material, it would have been okay. First that fight happens, it's cut off. Then Yuji's fight happens, and then we go back to the disaster curses, but it's cut off into the next episode, right? So them rearranging the chapters, it wraps up and gets Yuji's fight. I don't want to say out of the way, but you know what I mean, right? There's a whole bunch of exposition in a one low priority episode, whereas the next episode is going to be, high priority. So I liked how they did it.
I'll say that usually like this can be either really good or bad. So one of my favorite anime of all time, Overlord, they actually did this for actually many of their seasons, and it's not good. Like it actually kind of butchers the viewing experience. What I will say is what they're doing in Shibuya is good. Like they are doing this right, and it's just like how I wish they would have improved on the Grasshopper fight with some, I guess, like adding their own vision to it to make it better, like they did with Gojo versus Toji, or even just all like hidden inventory. I feel like that's what they're doing with the structure, and it's definitely working. It makes things feel like flow smoother, and it definitely helps, at least in the anime's structure and format.
Cool. Yeah, no, I definitely agree with the both of you. I think it does a great job of giving Gojo versus Disaster Curses, which, as we've all kind of theorized, and we did a whole segment on Yuji versus Grasshopper and how we kind of concluded that we were okay with the dip in quality just because it's a low priority fight. So FakeWeeb, I don't think you're crazy for saying that, to get it out of the way, because frankly, it really has no stakes, and there are a lot of more important fights that have a lot more to do with the plot that we need to move on towards. So yeah, I'm cool with what they did. I actually saw, I think it was Jorge in chat. I'm not sure if it was you or it was someone else. Which it made me laugh. It was really funny. Someone commented on one of my community posts and was like, hey, just so you know, they're moving the Yuji versus Grasshopper fight in front of Gojo versus Disaster Curses, so don't get mad again. And it made me crack up because I don't know if you guys know, I was upset that they that they put It's Like That instead of putting it in the recap episodes. They put it in the Mahito versus Mekamaru fight. So I thought it was funny that like they were like, don't get mad at this, they're changing things. But I'm completely okay with it. I think they did a good job with it, and I agree with FakeWeeb and like you said, Kaiyo too. Like I think it's good that they just got this out of the way to make more room for this fight. It could go good, it could go bad. Do you think they're gonna do some more switching around just to make a better viewing experience, especially considering we only have 18 episodes to fit this whole thing in? Do you think we're gonna get more moving around?
Yeah, for sure. Like I imagine some of the fights, I can't say they are split between chapters, or we're getting kind of like half of chapters like this fight, the next is that fight. At least for some of them, I feel like this time it's gonna be much more straightforward. Except for certain cases where they can't do that, right? Certain fights lead into other fights, or they're happening at the same time that connect. I'm thinking about two in particular, which I can't say. But I think generally, yeah, I think it would work a lot better if it's just like one whole episode for this guy versus like these guys, or this guy versus that guy. And that would be insane, I can't lie.
Yeah, I mean, Kaiyo pretty much nailed it. My thoughts exactly. I can't like really remember chapter to chapter, and I can't like exactly remember which fights gets cut off and then comes back into the next one. But I do think Mappa is going to try to prioritize having one full fight in a single episode.
Yeah. I think it gives them time to focus on everything and make everything great. And I guess if you reduce it down to like there's this many fights in the season and we can give each fight an episode, I guess that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, like in manga format, it works great when it's split, but for anime format, definitely better to just keep it like one episode this, or even like an episode and a half this, and then get into the next fight.
That kind of reminds me, like, because I'm so sure that, like, had this episode not been rearranged, I think, like, imagine the Gojo stuff happened first, but, like, the picture you have of Gojo right now, Imagine like that was cut off, and then after was the Yuji versus Grasshopper fight. No, like I just feel like people would have been so mad. Like, no, you're about to see Gojo. Why does it go into this? So yeah, no,
And
I
it
think
ends
it
with the
benefits.
Grasshopper fight. Yeah, that would not be a great clip. Exactly, like you said, they did a great job to put in the anime format.
Yeah. And they definitely did an amazing job with the cliffhanger ending, I guess, if you could consider it a cliffhanger, of like Gojo taking off his blindfold, and then them talking about Prison Realm, because it really sets up everything. Like that one frame right there is it looks so good. If there's anything that proves to you that they're going to be picking things up next week, it's got to be the way that they did that scene right there.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. Epic cliffhanger. I think that's probably like arguably the best, like just Gojo, one of the best Gojo frames in the series. So badass.
I will say though, it is nice that it's funny that they added domain amplification to be purple, since that's what Cursed Energy originally was, right? But it's nice that there's now a distinction, because, you know, we know at a certain point in the manga, it may or may not become an issue, like just people saying, oh, is that domain amplification or not? It's just nice to see it now. Like now there's a clear distinction. We know they're using it, well, we know they're not using it.
So, that being said, we're gonna have to wait till next week to see the results of what happens. Is Gojo gonna get sealed? Is Gojo gonna whip everybody's asses and we're gonna get a peaceful resolution to everything? It seems to me that there's about 15 more episodes, so I'm not sure how that's really gonna work out. But that being said, unless any of you guys have any closing thoughts or anything to really add or finish on in the episode, we can definitely move into Q&A.
You actually just kind of like so like you said there's 15 episodes left. Do you know how many chapters we have left? I'm like, oh wait, only 15? Damn. I guess really has been episodes.
It's went pretty quickly. I'm trying to think here. Let me see. Let me take a look at the Shonen Jump app, because I am a paying member. I do pay for my manga. Support the official
Same here.
release.
Actually, while you do that, I wanted to ask FakeWeeb a very important question.
Yes.
The dress, is it white and gold or black and blue?
Yeah, I remember this was a thing. I don't even remember in my head what color do I think it was. Do you think you can send it in the Discord chat and then
I'll get it now.
I was gonna say, was like the FakeWeeb even alive when that was a thing?
Don't even tell me like what you guys pick, because I don't even know what you guys saw. I'm just gonna see what I see.
We're gonna poison the well for him. We can't do that.
All right, let me get that.
I think Yuji vs. Grasshopper ends after 87.
Damn, so we have like a 40 Oh, I see
Blue and black.
white and yellow.
Yeah,
without a
yeah.
doubt.
See, I told you guys. Listen, some people are saying officially in quotes, it's like blue and black, but
It is.
I choose to believe my own delusions. It is.
We have around
white
50
and gold.
chapters left.
Oh, damn. 50
Somewhere
chapters
around
and
there.
15
It's somewhere around there, because we figure there's still a chapter or two or some kinds of there's some content that we haven't gotten between Gojo versus Aster Curses.
Right.
So there's also one or two chapters that are missing from that. But if we figure Yuji vs. Grasshoppers ends on 87, Shibuya Incident ends chapter 136. So that's about 87 to 136 is about 49 chapters.
I think that's actually perfect, because an average anime episode has 3 chapters, and considering the fact that like these are going to be fights, not that much dialogue. Well, it's Jujutsu Kaisen, there's going to be quite a lot of dialogue, but it's going to be fast-paced fights. They probably might be able to squeeze in like 4, maybe 5. 5 might be too much, but like chapters per episode. So even if they do squeeze in like 4 or 5 per episode, they could even add in like anime extra on top of that, because I think that's what they did with Hidden Inventory. People were thinking, how are they even going to do it in 5 episodes, where they adapted so many chapters per episode that they were able to add a ton of anime extra stuff as well on top of it. So it seems like kind of crazy, but I think they actually have more than enough episodes is the issue.
Yeah, I think within like JJK standards compared to other animes, like that's like the normal type of pacing, like having 3 to 4, maybe even a bit more I mean, I don't know if 5 chapters ever been done before, but I think, with Shibuya having a lot of fights, it can be done. If anything, it just like it eliminates the possibility of ever having a One Piece anime type pacing. We're just never gonna get that, so that's good.
Yeah, I'm not gonna have to wait till I have kids to watch, the next arc after this. But yeah, I think they're really doing a good job with everything. I'm very happy with it. I'm excited to get into the next episode. I'm excited to finish the Shibuya incident. My hopes are not crumbled. I don't have any huge complaints yet. But that's a big yet. Big yet. Anything else, guys?
No, that's pretty much it for me.
Yeah, all I'll say is if you saw the episode preview, man, next episode is gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy.
Without a doubt, it's gonna be a movie, and that's where all our effort and budget from this week went into. That's for sure. So that being said, we're gonna get into the Q&A segment of the episode now, guys. Thank you all so much for hanging out and being here. So I'm gonna check through donos because they do get priority if we have any questions that we can go ahead and answer, and then we will move into chat and see if we can hang out with you guys for a little bit. Looks like we're gonna have another 20 minutes on the episode. So just to run through it real quick, Tiberius, thank you for the 5 gifted. Jerome, thank you for the 5 gifted. Molly Wop, thank you for the 5, said the GOAT, which I assume is pertaining to TheFakeWeeb and KaiyoBreeze. So congrats to you guys. Nah, I don't think so.
I think it was pertaining to Noah and KaiyoBreeze. Just my
I think
opinion.
it's you guys for sure.
I will fight you guys. This from Moses Mercer. Thank you for the dono. Jujutsu Kaisen so fire. It's already better than One Piece. Facts. I agree with that statement. I don't know about you guys.
Gear 5, bro. That episode last week was kind of peak. That was kind of good.
If we're talking like manga to manga, because I really don't watch the One Piece anime like that. Hey man, I love JJK, but I gotta give it to One Piece. But I love JJK.
Whoa, crazy. I have never read a lick of One Piece, so I can't even have an opinion.
Man, I mean, if you read the manga, right, it's doable. It's definitely doable. But yeah, the anime is, man.
It was so funny. Like I saw your tweet. Someone said, I think who's the better villains? And you said garbage versus garbage because the picture is like just One Piece is
weird.
Oh yeah, Boruto versus One Piece designs. Oh my god.
Oh
Listen,
man.
I know. Would you believe me if I told you a man, like a fully grown man, overweight man, wearing a baby costume, like with the, like, I don't know, sucker that they have and like the thing that they have on the head, like a full baby costume, is one of the most goated characters, and he'll make you cry. He'll actually make you cry.
I will 110%. I would believe that 100. That's honestly part of the thing that keeps me out of One Piece is like I cannot vibe with the character designs. I don't know what it is.
I'm telling you, man. Senor Pink. If you saw his backstory, I'm telling you, it hit.
You know what? I'm not even doubting that. That's the crazy thing. I'm sure it is like absolutely insane. I don't know. So like my only experience with One Piece is I think I got up to the end of East Blue and a little bit of Alabasta.
You actually read it?
I didn't read it. No, I watched the 4Kids English dub. Gaio, dreaming.
No one dies. Everyone's just in a basement somewhere.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but so that's literally my only experience with One Piece. And I tuned out. I was never really that into it anyway. But I tuned out probably towards like the end of Alabasta, like right before. Like I think I remember seeing Luffy versus Crocodile when they're fighting in like the tomb or whatever. On Toonami, and I remember I was already checked out. I was already like 20 episodes behind, and I had no idea what was going on. And I was like, okay.
I mean, if that's your experience, man, the 4Kids is beyond garbage. I actually don't blame you if you don't like One Piece.
Yeah, same. I mean, I have like some friends who are really invested in One Piece and they just watched the anime. But even then, I'm like, I feel like one can only really get invested in One Piece when they read the manga. So no, I definitely feel that, especially for kids.
Now even the anime is fine, but for kids, man, like they throw Bellamy into a dungeon. They don't like. I think Shanks doesn't lose his arm. Like Usopp's dad, like mother doesn't pass away. She just moved. Like I don't know.
She doesn't pass away. She moves away. That's so funny.
Yeah,
Like that's like a parent like telling their kid that their pet died. Like, oh, he ran away, Timmy.
Oh man, yeah. It's I would actually recommend people getting into live action. That's actually not a bad way to start.
Wow. You know what? I will say I was wrong. I was wrong because you know what? I sat here on my high horse and I was like, there will never be a good live action. You guys are all coping. It's going to come out and it's going to be trash. I don't know why you guys are hoping for it to be good. And then I see a lot of people that they enjoyed it and I'm not going to take that away from them.
Yeah, I think if I had to say like 3 live actions I really liked, the Bleach one, I don't know if you guys have seen it. Considering the budget that they had, it was actually really good. They just like animate all of the first couple arcs all the way until Ichigo fights Renji, but they change it up a bit. There's like a Full Metal Alchemist, like a really old one, live action that was really good.
I was gonna say not the Netflix one, right?
And not the Netflix Death Note one, not that one. There's like a separate, like an older Death Note one that's actually really good.
The Japanese one.
Yeah, we don't talk about the Netflix.
Light Turner.
Oh my god.
Which is crazy because of all animes, I feel like Death Note is probably one of the easiest series to adapt into a live action story.
Yeah.
It's just people.
It's so grounded. It's so literally the only thing that's really hard to do would be like the Shinigami. I feel like everything else is like so easy and easy to replicate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, whoever made the Netflix one, like they just had an agenda. Not a good one at that.
Well, it all started with the fact that like we can't just keep Light Yagami. We have to Americanize the name because there's no way anyone would be able to relate to the character if he's not an American. Like why? Like why can't we just keep like the same name? It's so stupid.
Solo Leveling is getting an anime?
Yes.
And they completely like turned everything into like Japan centric. Because it's based on like South Korea, like every name, every area, like even the like everything is just changed. Nothing's the same name, and like that was apparently the ultimatum. Like if he wanted an anime, the creator, he had to do it. And it's just like it's so. I'm not even gonna watch it, man. Yeah,
that stinks. That's really sad to hear. And obviously I can't speak for anyone because being put in that situation, I don't know his situation. That could have been the big break, and this could be what changes his life forever. But at the same time, it's like I feel like that's so disrespectful to like the original vision. Like it's like you're literally changing everything. That it's I don't know. That stinks to hear. Because if it were, it's easy to say if it were me because I can't put myself in his shoes. Like I said, I don't know his situation, but like it's just I feel like I would have such a hard time. Like I'd be like no, fuck you. I'm just gonna wait until I can find an animation studio that respects my craft because I'm sure with how popular Solo Leveling was. I'm not sure if it's still going on. I'm not a Solo Leveling fan.
Oh no,
so
it ended a while ago, but a sequel it's potentially coming out soon.
Yeah, like what I feel like I don't know. It's hard to say. Anyone can say what could be. But it stinks.
It's just like because the main character's name's Ji Woo, and in the fan base we call him like Mr. Woo Woo, right? Mm-hmm. It's like that won't even exist anymore. Like damn.
Yeah. It stinks. It stinks. But yeah. No, I mean at least nothing as bad as 4Kids. Nothing will ever be as bad as 4Kids. But moving on. Tiberius, thank you for the 5 questions for you fine gentlemen, and I do mean fine. Winky face. Can you name 2 to 3 characters you don't like in Jujutsu Kaisen? TheFakeWeeb or KaiyoBreeze. I'll let you guys go first unless you guys want time to think.
Nah, this is easy. This is so easy. All right, first we got Yuta. All right, easy. It's not even a question. This
That hurts.
guy, to be fair, it's not Yuta himself. I actually like him. He actually is one of my favorites, but his super fans in particular, like there's just so many of them, and they wank him so much. It makes like I have to be the bad guy. I have to be the Yuta hater. It is what it is. I guess another one is no, not Kashimo. I love Kashimo. It's Mahito. Rightfully so. That should make sense. Like, I just hate this guy, man. Nobita, Toto's arm, Miwa, Kamaru, yeah, that's whatever. But Miwa, come on, man, that's crazy. And if I had to say, so it's 3, I think.
Yeah, 2 to 3, but
It's Toji, man. Deadbeat.
what the fuck? You should have kept it at 2. Oh my
this
god.
guy, and then his fans, they overwank it. But he's a deadbeat. Like his actual characters, and he comes back just to be his son's ass. Really? Man.
Oh.
Took him like 5 minutes to recognize his son. Come on.
Wow.
Wait, but like
Come
fan
on.
bases aside, is like that's like the 3 least favorite characters for you?
No, Yuta's wouldn't be that for his fan bases aside.
Okay.
But, man, Toji, like Maki clears. That's all I'll say. In every way.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Oh man.
With fake weed, please start talking. My brain.
Okay, listen, like I mean, I've said this like a bunch of times. Man, 3 is really hard. I'm gonna just do 2. I don't even think I have a second least favorite. At least I can't think of right now, but I'll just say this character because whatever. So first is Yorozu. I'm just not gonna go into details because
Oh my god.
That's the best one.
That's guys, Chad. That's not even that bad. I feel like that's understandable.
No, she's one of my favorites.
Second would be, again, like it's not that I don't like this character. He's probably my least favorite because all of them are pretty likable. At least I can't think of one right now. Maybe like student Noritoshi Kamo or student Momo.
Okay, I can, yes. Leave Momo out of this, but Noritoshi Kamo, I agree with you.
I like when he said set your heart ablaze, when he apologized to Yuji, like flashback with his mother. Yeah, I like him, but I can understand.
Oh man, wow, that's insane. Okay, so those are your characters.
Yeah.
What about yours?
So my least favorite characters in Jujutsu Kaisen. Let me see. If I had to say my least favorite, people that I hate the most, I have to. You guys have literally stun locked me. Okay. What you don't like? Okay, I'm sorry. Hold on, I'm really caught off guard here.
Man, and he probably stinks. No, he definitely stinks.
All right. Okay. So let's be real here. Characters that I think are just terrible. Man, if I had to pick, so the Zed, can I just lump all of the Zenin clan as one character? Because I feel like none of them count. They're like as like one whole character. They were just terrible. Noritoshi Kamo.
What if I said Ogi was the goat? No, I'm trolling. I'm actually trolling that one.
You'd break me at this point. But yeah, no, 100%. The Noritoshi Kamo hate will not be stopped. That train needs to continue running. I will throw coal in it for as long as possible. Dude is one of the worst characters in the entire series, and that will never change.
He's cool. He's all right. I like him.
Mekamaru is a fucking loser. Everyone needs to stop infantilizing Mekamaru and acting like he is this great guy and his struggle and he betrayed all of his friends and almost got some of them killed and completely just was a villain for as long as he wanted to be until it was convenient for him for the most selfish of reasons.
Damn.
And
I mean,
and people still want to cut him some slack. Irredeemable.
Damn. I mean, I think I empathize with him a lot, but he was kind of stupid. Like, there was 1,000 ways he could have solved, like, gotten out of there. But,
his friends would have accepted him the way he was from the beginning, but he chose instead to hide away in isolation, never talk to any of them or try and form a real relationship with any of them, until he goes, okay, I'm a real boy now, like fucking Pinocchio. And now he's like, okay, now I can go be friends with everybody and everyone will accept me. Like, no, dude, everyone would have accepted you from the very beginning, and now you possibly potentially fucked everyone because regardless of whether the binding, you got me started now. The fucking, regardless of the binding vow that don't hurt any of the Kyoto people, obviously that didn't fucking matter because they fucking hurt him anyway. So you can't even act like he tried to protect his friends. You're dealing with fucking cursed spirits that are fucking evil villains. They're gonna. Why would you think they would listen to you?
I feel like he could have made another binding vow as well, where it could have been like, this is like way beforehand though, where they assure that he can escape, like they can't harm him, he can just leave, on the condition that he doesn't contact Jujutsu High until Gojo's sealed. Granted, I'm kind of saying that in hindsight because Gojo got sealed anyway and he wanted to like prevent it, but he tried to have his cake, like getting his body back, and then eat it as well.
Yes.
Like that was the issue.
Yes, he tried to make he literally, without the perfect analogy, he literally tried to make a deal with the devil and then tried to cheap out on the payment. The payment was his life. At the end of it, they Kanjaku and Geto and Mahito both said they're going to kill him afterwards. You get your real body and we're done with you. And that was the whole point, and he tried to run away from that. And you can't run away from your fate. Like you can't, like I feel like you sold yourself out. You sold your friends out, and now you have to pay the price, which is you die. You don't get to run away from that. And also, not for nothing, another hot take. Here's another scorching hot take on this one. If he really wanted to save his friends, give the information to Gojo, why did his prideful ass stay and fight? Why didn't he run away from the fucking very beginning, or at the very least form some kind of contingency plan for if he did get killed by Mahito and them, where they would figure out the information anyway? Instead, he gets killed, the fucking hubris to think he was actually gonna take out Mahito, let alone after he takes out Mahito. What, is he gonna fight fucking Geto afterwards? He really thought he was gonna get out of that fucking situation alive?
That is kind of insane. I call it. Yeah.
What the fuck? But so like, if you want to say that he knew he couldn't win from the beginning and his whole goal was to escape, why did he not do that from the very beginning? Why did he go, okay, I'm gonna get in my giant fucking Kaizu mech, whatever the fuck it's Kaiju mech, and fucking fight everybody now? No, motherfucker, run away. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. No, it's just, the worst part is like he helps you. Well.
Geto placed the veil. Geto placed the veil. He could have ran away before Geto placed the veil. Don't even say that in chat. Stop.
No, the issue is like, again, he should have just made a binding vow, like way beforehand is what I'm saying, like to guarantee that he can escape, but maybe he just doesn't tell. Because at the end of the day, he got, like, there was no way he was winning that. He couldn't beat Mahito one-on-one, and in theory, he should have been planning to fight Mahito and Geto at the same time. And he couldn't beat the weakest one alone. And it's not like he doesn't know how strong they are. Remember, like, he has been monitoring everyone, and he has, like, video recording on every sorcerer for the past, like, year or something. Because they use those recordings to show to, at least it's been a year, to the rest of the world. So he knows how, I don't know what he was expecting. Like seriously. It was just, I think it's because, like, his true form, like, when he is all healed, he's like, oh wow, he's like a good-looking anime guy, and he wants to get with a girl, and then like everyone's like can empathize.
Star-crossed lovers.
But like you just look at him, and it's like, oh wow. Then people really like start to feel bad, I guess, because he's no longer disfigured, and they forget that he's kind of an asshole. What he did to Panda. But
yeah, also we forget he was a fucking dickhead, fucking borderline. I wouldn't say racist, but he was just like, oh, you're cursed corpse, you're not even a fucking person. Like, all right, dude, I understand you're mad at your situation, but don't take that out on Panda. What did he do to you? It's like you said, he gets the cute little anime boy body, and he has the star-crossed lover thing with Miwa, where they'll never be able to actually love each other. So sad. Like
the fan art
it overshadows the true dark nature that Mechamaru was a piece of shit.
Well, the thing is, okay, well, last thing I don't, considering the upbringing he had and what he's had to deal with his whole life, I don't blame him though, but it was kind of stupid. I can't lie, like how everything turned out. But yeah, it's yeah. I think we any thoughts on that?
No, I mean, I think you guys pretty much nailed it. I do agree he's a rat, but like Kaiyo, you said, I also still kind of empathize with him considering his upbringings. But he's still a rat.
Yeah.
Why do I always have to
snitches
hate
get
on the JJ?
stitches.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. There's nothing.
Why do I always have to hate on the JJK cast? Let them have something. They don't all deserve death. Let me fucking tell you something, Legend Guy. I live my fucking story, my fiction life, my fiction philosophy on motherfucking Game of Thrones rules. That takes fucking precedence over everything. If you fuck up, if you do something fucked up, you pay consequences for it. I'm sorry. Why do I think... Oh, I'm getting into spoilers now. I can't say this. But why do I think a certain character should be dead after what happened to them in the most recent thing? Because they caused the entire arc to happen in the first place. That is the perfect punishment for them to die after that.
Man.
Game of fucking Throne rules. It's just what it is. That I don't want everyone to die, but like I said, Mechamaru, deal with the devil. The payment of the fucking binding vow was his death, and he tried to skedaddle out of that. No, motherfucker. That's just how it is.
I don't understand why he'd fight. Again, I'm not going to go on and again, but like, why would he try to fight when he can't be even one of them? Like, that was just stupid as hell. I can't lie.
Also, I'm just fake mad, by the way. I'm not actually yelling at any of you guys. Chat, I love you.
Oh no, yeah. I mean, hey guys, like Noob's personality is the same as Mahito, so.
Oh my God! Stop! It's so true, though.
Is it? Wait.
Yes.
Should I be scared?
Yeah. So apparently Mahito is ENTP person. I don't know if you've ever taken that personality type where it puts you in like 16 categories.
I am the campaigner. I can't remember what that was. Let me search. 16.
Yeah, it's like this. It's like a 4. Yeah, you know. So you know exactly what I'm talking about. FakeWeeb. I don't know if you've taken the test too. It's a really interesting test.
Yeah. My profile, because
I haven't taken the test, but like, yeah, I know basically what it's about.
But I am ENTP, and apparently so is Mahito. But so is Gojo too. So at the end of the day, I mean, it's really not all that bad. But the realist thing is Mahito. There's subsections. There's healthy ENTP and unhealthy ENTP, and Mahito is obviously unhealthy ENTP, where he just does what he wants. He doesn't give a fuck about anybody, you know.
Oh, I'm a ENFP.
There you go.
Like, yeah.
We said that's the campaigner.
Yes. So it's like not the, because I could do every couple years, and over the past like decade, it's changed a decent amount. But that's at least what it was when I did it a couple months ago. I don't know what yours is, FakeWeeb. Wait, so you said you're ENTP?
Yeah, I think it's like the debater or something like that. I don't know.
ENTP. That sounds like Mahito though as well. Debater. It is the debate, yeah.
It is. I think it was, what's the brief definition? Because I saw the Mahito thing and I literally read the definition and it made me uncomfortable because I was like, holy shit, I'm like reading myself on a fucking thing. Where was it? I'm trying to find the thing. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I haven't taken like that personality test, but I would also assume maybe Gege is also same as Mahito and Gojo. You said ENTP.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That guy is just ruthless.
Kenjaku is INTJ. Apparently, I'm looking at characters now.
Gojo's gotta be ENFJ. He's gotta be.
No, Gojo's ENTP. He's the same as Mahito, actually. Which is funny because when Nanami's fighting Mahito, Nanami even says that. He goes, I feel like I'm fighting Gojo right now.
Oh, shit. Yo,
like, I imagine... Yeah, by the way, you gotta do this. It's actually a really, really awesome test. It's really accurate.
It's very accurate. Mm-hmm. It's definitely very accurate. But yeah, no.
We could see if there's any JJK characters. I don't know which ones are ENFP. ENFP characters. Oh, there was like a place to find this. I can't remember where.
I was literally just on it. I'll send you the.
I got it. Is it like personality database?
Yes.
Yeah, there's some characters that's like great, but there's some that's like, oh god, I have to share personality type with them.
Yeah,
Alright,
like
let's
here,
search.
like yeah, Gojo's ENTP, Sukuna is ENTJ, ENFP. I'm looking for you, ENFP. Oh, Habera. What a great character to be
Wait,
associated with.
Haibara? Okay, I'll take that.
You
I mean, he
die
died.
literally in 2
I'll
episodes.
take his personality.
Rico Amanai, Rika Orimoto,
God.
you do not have good outlooks here, sir.
Oh god, I have a death flag already. Oh,
Don't
God.
ever fucking go to the Jujutsu Kaisen universe because
Yeah,
the world
it's
does not
annoying.
lean favorably to your kind of people.
No.
Oh my
Oh,
god,
man.
literally every character of your personality type dies within.
Wait, could you send this to me? I need to see this. Wait a minute.
I'm on the same thing you are.
Wait, how can you? Because I know how to do it for
if
anime.
you so
but-
I went to the Mahito. So I went to Mahito. So here, I'll just send you the fucking link. I don't know why I'm making this difficult.
Mahito.
I'm just gonna send you the link. But it gives you all the personality types for the characters.
Oh, here we go.
I'll post it in chat too, so the people in chat can see what we're talking. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna put it on screen. That probably makes sense.
All right, so Yuji is ISFP. Which one is that? Let me check back.
Hold on.
I would have thought Yuji would have gone protagonist. I guess maybe that's just too boring to have an actual protagonist have that.
Yeah.
Right.
Probably would be. boring.
Kashimo's ENTJ. I wish I was ENTJ now.
He
I
goes,
don't even know
I
what
wish
that
I
is,
was
but-
ENTJ.
Is that I don't even know if it's bad or good. I just want to be it now.
I mean, Sukuna is ENTJ as well.
Ah, man, Kashimo's that makes sense.
Fraud allegations coming.
Mei.
Oh man, yeah. Well, ENTJ is a mess. Dear God, like what the?
Oh my god. I've got to edit this window. This is so OBS. Come on, man. What are you doing? Everyone puts like
Bro,
those ads on like the side of the fucking page, so it's like terrible.
You don't understand. I was like, I got like an inappropriate ad when I was trying to stream on like OBS, with like with those websites. It was just a mess.
Oh man, but ENF. It's like you, bro. I'm just going through. It's so bad. We got Sasaki. She was like the occult girl. Damn.
That's so yeah, Toji's ISTP. I guess we should also look some of these up too, so we kind of know what we're hold on.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I only like know if it's good or bad just like by the character, not really by the actual definition of these like acronyms or whatever.
Okay, I gotta see what Sukuna and Kashimo's means exactly. ENTJ. I just gotta know now.
Yeah,
would
what
that be?
is
It's gotta be vile.
Commander?
the
That's what it's
commander
for.
personality?
They're natural born leaders. People with this personality type embody gifts of charisma and confidence and project authority in a way that draws crowds together behind a common goal. Their often ruthless level of rationality, using drive and determination and sharp minds to achieve whatever they set themselves for. This really does sound like Sukuna and striving for greatness. Damn.
Yeah, legitimately. It
A
makes
worthy
perfect
challenge.
sense.
This is literally them. God damn.
What's Maki is ESTJ. What's ESTJ? The executive. Representatives of tradition and order, utilizing their understanding of what is right,
Oh, no.
wrong, and socially acceptable to bring to families and communities. Embracing the
Oh, no.
leading
Oh.
by example, a greater responsibility. Yeah, she definitely took responsibility in her own hands. That's for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Like at first it sounded wrong, but then it sounded right the second half.
Maybe it's in her personality, but just given her family, she was maybe actually able to, I guess, live up to the potential that she has.
Mm-hmm.
Because her family are kind of a mess, to say the least.
Toto
Bunch
is
of
the
ENTJs.
entrepreneur.
That sounds all right.
I can see. I mean, IQ, entrepreneur. Yeah, I don't know.
Charming, witty,
INFP.
and know how to make stuff happen. This personality type loves to interact with people and are naturals when it comes to selling products or services.
What is
I don't know about that. Never mind.
INFP? Because there's like a lot of interesting people that like Junpei has it, Momo has it. INFP.
Let me see that.
Yeah, like Misato Kuroi has it. The maid.
Oh, introverted.
Hey, Tiberius,
That
are you
sounds
still in
alright.
chat? Your girl Nagi, ENTP. Me and her are the same personality type. You should be worried. I'm just kidding. If my girlfriend's watching this, that was a joke.
ENFP. Damn, it seems like I just got unlucky with JJK. Damn it. There's like all the ENFPs just die. Like, god damn.
Yeah, you don't. That's what I'm saying, man. Not
There's not a place for ENFPs.
not a.
Like,
You
good-
have some luck though. Or Haruka's luck, not that
Why
much,
does
though.
curse spirit
I'll take it.
manipulation the technique have a personality type?
No way.
Yeah,
What the?
that's gotta be a troll.
Yeah, I think some of the curse techniques have personality types. I think that's an error here.
Hu Tao has it? Oh, I'll take that.
Oh damn! They even have this for other anime. Wow.
Yeah,
I
they
know,
have
like,
for a
this
bunch of
existed.
bunch of people.
Wait, so how? I guess that makes sense. Like Obito and Naruto share the same one. I guess they just went down because they were the same initially. Just went down different paths.
Wait, who did you say?
Obito and Naruto, they have the same personality.
Oh.
Yep.
At first I thought you said like Naobito. No, that makes sense. Yeah,
That
Obito
makes
Naruto.
sense. That makes sense.
Yo, this is just like a random question. Someone asked me, and like apparently what I said was a hot take. What did you guys like, or what do you guys prefer? Kakashi Gaiden's like Kakashi backstory or Gojo's backstory? So the hidden inventory arc.
Oof.
Kakashi's, I
like-
guess.
That's crazy. I think Gojo's backstory has a lot more relevance to the story and is 10 times cooler, but I do like Akashi Gaiden as a story.
Well, I mean, Kakashi's backstory did create the entire apocalypse, right?
I
The-
guess
Fourth
you're
War.
right. I that does make a good. I shouldn't have said that. That was a dumb thing to say.
No,
what I-
if only he saved. If only he saved Rin. What are you gonna say?
No, you're right. I was wrong.
Yeah, I was gonna say like I told my friend like I like Kakashi Gaiden like okay not a lot more, but I just liked it more because that's just man like that was really peak. And he thought like it was a hot take because I don't know like it is only like 3-4 episodes, but when I look back and it's also it's an arc that like comes back in the war arc and it just really hits all emotion, hype. Man, that's also when Kakashi he had like this he made his decision to what's the popular quote called? Saving man, it's been a while. Saving
Wait, if you
the
don't
scum lord.
save, yeah, like if you
Yeah.
it's like I don't know if people are trash, but if people who don't save their friends, like they even worse than trash or something like that.
Yes.
I mean, but Kakashi, all right, this is gonna be a very hot take. He is the coolest character by far and away, but he is the worst teacher I have ever seen, and he is by far and away probably like the biggest failure. Probably in like anime history.
Of like anime history. That's
Yeah,
a
he's
bold
like
statement.
such a failure, man. Oh, it is wrong. He loses like the majority of his fights. He's like out of his 3 students, he teaches Naruto nothing. He prioritizes Sasuke only, who turns evil. Like Sakura, he teaches nothing as well. Who has to go to Tsunade. Like he caused his like incompetence caused like Obito's death, Rin's death, and like Obito came back to like start a war. And it's like he loses to Pain, he loses to so he just loses like every time. And it's like he doesn't teach anyone anything. Like everyone hypes him. Oh, every person he fights is like, oh, it's Kakashi Mutake. It's an honor to meet you. Like they just whoop his ass. Like damn. I don't know. What does he do besides being cool? Like he has 1,000 jutsu, and we haven't seen more than 10 of them. Like.
I'll let you have your rant. I had my rant. I'll let you have yours.
listen, like Kakashi, he's cool. I get it. All right, he's got that like the red eye, the white hair, like badass teacher, but he just sucks. Like he just loses, man. I don't know what to say. He's cool, but man.
On that note, I don't know how we got off of. We really got into the weeds on that one.
How did it?
We started from talking about the JJK characters we don't like.
Right.
True.
Yeah.
Wow, that one Q&A, yeah.
Yeah, we really got off topic. So just to finish off, because we're coming up on the end of the episode here, I just want to get through the last of these donations. So Tiberius, thank you for the gifted member. China Doll 09, thank you so much for the gifted member as well. And our last question that we'll have for Q&A, unless God forbid someone throws something in there before I end the show. Explosive Grape, thank you for being a member for 4 months. I know you're such a troll in chat, but I do appreciate your constant support. I do appreciate you. A question for y'all. How many Shibuya Tojis they got Playful Clouds would it take to beat Kenjaku? What will the monkey kill count be? Oh my goodness gracious.
Oh, what?
Would it well, I guess like would Toji, I guess to make it without spoiling too much, would Toji be able to beat Geto? Broken Ronin actually just did a video on this, if you guys want to check that out. But yeah, what do you guys think?
Who?
If Toji fought adult Geto.
If I had to say, wait, is it the Zenin version, which is like Gege said, the Zenin version is stronger than
Sure.
the one that. So if it's Zenin, I guess 2 should be enough. But if it's the one that fought Gojo, 3. I think 3.
Three Tojis. Okay.
Yeah.
Like
That
like
must
under
stink,
the
though.
assumption that adult Geto doesn't have domain, right?
Wait, I
Yes.
thought we said Kenjaku.
Well, we're using adult Geto for
Oh,
spoilers.
sorry. Okay. Yeah, okay, no.
Oh.
Specifically Shibuya Geto. Yeah, 2 or 3.
Okay.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
Fair enough. 2 or 3. If Toji ever learned the Shadow Clone Jutsu, I think Geto wouldn't be the only one that would be worried. I think the world would be everyone else would have a problem with that as well.
I mean, he can send 100 of them at Gojo. He clears. It is what it is.
Oh, okay. That's an interesting statement. I'll leave on that one.
Okay, don't quote me on that one. No, 100.
Yeah, I was gonna say let's not elaborate on that one a little bit further. We won't dive into that. We'll leave that surface level. Guys, thank you all so much for hanging out with me for another episode of the Weekly Domain. I want to give a special thanks to TheFakeWeeb and KaiyoBreeze for joining me on this episode. Guys, I'll give you just a quick moment. Please feel free to tell us about what you do, tell the people at home what you're all about, and if you have a video coming out or a video that just came out that you want to plug, now is the chance. TheFakeWeeb link is in the description. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, of course. As always, Noop, I really appreciate you inviting me to the Weekly Domain. It's always really fun talking about the episodes and just talking with you guys in general. It's always an honor. As for what I do, mainly JJK content. I'm also kind of leaning in towards the B word, the Boruto stuff as well, and eventually in the future into One Piece. In terms of like the next video I have, I don't really know because I'm pretty messy myself. I don't have anything scheduled, so yeah, just in terms of my channel, you can check it out, JJK, Boruto, and hopefully One Piece in the future.
Awesome. And same thing, KaiyoBreeze, link is in the description. Man makes amazing Jujutsu Kaisen content. And I think I've seen you tweeting. I'm not sure if you make the content, but I've seen you tweeting about One Piece and a bunch of other series. So man is a very varied content creator. Link is in the description. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you inviting me. It was really fun, especially with the ending part, right? The rants that we did and the ENFP and all that sort of stuff. It was a very fun stream. Thanks for having me on and talking to you guys. And yeah, I guess if you're a Sukuna fan, my last 3 videos for some reason have been Sukuna lore-based and hype videos. So if you like Sukuna, you'll probably like one of them. But yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, seriously, thank you guys both for being here. It's always a pleasure to have you guys, and it's an honor for me for you guys to be here.
No, thanks for inviting us.
Chat, you guys are all awesome as well. I sincerely appreciate all of you guys stopping by, hanging out as well. If you haven't already, definitely hit the like button on the stream. Helps the channel get to other people. And most importantly, I hope you all have another great weekend coming up. As for me, I do have a video dropping actually in about an hour. Every single Quincy Shrift ranked in Bleach. I know we're on a Jujutsu Kaisen stream, but I might as well promote it in some way, shape, or form. So if you guys, that sounds interesting to you, check that out. Drops in an hour. But other than that, guys, you guys all have an amazing rest of the night. And I'll see you guys all next week for the next weekly domain and Gojo versus Disaster Curses, guys. It's going to be a fun one. So I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
See you
Later.